Belgarden Glamorgan representative, Secretary for the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection. Dr. Faith firmly believes that it is our duty to act so as to encourage the best in others. And by doing so, we will develop the best in ourselves, which is a humanistic mantra. Let's welcome a doctor, a social and community activist, an HIV/AIDS activist, a researcher, a leader, an assemblyman, a politician. Welcome Dr. Faith B. Yezreel to bring us greetings.
Good morning, everyone. Permit me to do the non-conventional thing and say I am recognizing every single one of us here this morning. All of the ladies, all of the mummies, all of the wives, all of the advocates, all of the partners, all of us. Good morning. And thank you for continually supporting this wonderful, amazing woman known as 𝐒𝐀𝐀𝐍𝐃 𝐋𝐀. I remember a couple years ago just hearing the name 𝐒𝐀𝐀𝐍𝐃 𝐋𝐀. And I had no idea who she was. I had no idea anything about her. We were supposed to have a program, I think, in the Goodwood Community Center. And something happened and it didn't happen again or something like that. And then, you just kept hearing 𝐒𝐀𝐀𝐍𝐃 𝐋𝐀, the domestic violence woman. Because that is it, 𝐒𝐀𝐀𝐍𝐃 𝐋𝐀, the domestic violence woman. And she's going to come and she's going to be amazing. And 𝐒𝐀𝐀𝐍𝐃 𝐋𝐀, the domestic violence woman. And I can't remember how it happened, but we met. And 𝐒𝐀𝐀𝐍𝐃 invited me to one of her support group sessions. Wouldn't say where, wouldn't say when. And I came to the session, I think, officially representing being a counselor at that time in the Tobago House of Assembly. I came to the session having my own foundation at that time. But what 𝐒𝐀𝐀𝐍𝐃 did not know is that I came to the session, and it was a session that I probably needed more than any of the women who were there. And I left that session that day thinking, gosh, thank God for people like 𝐒𝐀𝐀𝐍𝐃 and women of substance and the kind of work that you do. I was actually afraid to talk to you after that because I thought you would have seen the kind of pain and hurt that I was masking. And I didn't want that to be known. So 𝐒𝐀𝐀𝐍𝐃, woman of substance, all of you, continue doing the good work. Happy birthday. Happy anniversary to women of substance. Happy birthday to Shangri-La. And I would dare say in the future, happy opening day to whatever we are going to call that amazing facility that you're going to be working on. And let me pledge here from the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, and I'm glad that my senior program officer is here. She's pulling out her phone to tape me saying this. Pledge the support of the division to ensure that you continue doing the good work that you do. And let me see why I think this is important that we use this model. I think for far too often, government does get involved in things that government not supposed to be involved in. And we see it very frequently that as soon as government get involved, it does mess up the whole thing. It's a fact. It is a fact. And I personally believe that the model that we should be using for services like these is one where we do have the NGOs, and we have the NGOs doing what they should be doing, and government providing the support, government providing the policy, government providing the other infrastructural support that is necessary so that you can do your job. So I am pledging the continued support of the Tobago House of Assembly. I want to spend 2 seconds, though, doing one thing, and I'm only doing it because I think it fits in perfectly with what we're doing here. One of the reasons we changed the name of the division to Health, Wellness, and Social Protection is to include that component known as social protection. And social protection really is this idea that we should build individuals and families and communities who are able to withstand shocks. Now, in many instances, we think of shocks as negative things. You know, COVID, and everything that came as a result of COVID. But shocks could also be positive things, eh? And I used this example a couple of weeks ago at an International Women's Day forum, where I said a shock could be that a woman is newly married and is madly in love with her new husband. But because she grew up, Christian, and her wedding night is the first night she actually slept with him, she just realizes that this man snores. And she is now saying to herself, this man who I dearly love is going to keep me awake for the rest of my life. How do I deal with that? And the division, the one that we are building, is one that would allow all of us to figure out what we need to do to deal with the shocks that come to us, the good shocks and the bad ones. It means, though, that when we provide the services that we hope to provide, we will no longer just give you something, because just giving you the one thing may not actually help you develop the kind of resilience you need. It may not help you get out of the situation that caused you to need the one thing that we are giving you, but we will be working with you to ensure that you develop the skills, the technical capacity, the competencies, the strength, the stick-to-itness, the I don't care what anybody said, this is what I'm doing because this is what we need to do for me and my family. This is what we are hoping to help us all develop. And with people like Onika, with organizations like Women of Substance, with entities like Digicel and U.S. Embassy, and all of the other NGOs that are around doing this kind of hard, gritty, down in the trenches. It ain't pretty unless you have a deal like this where you could put up makeup and come forward. I want to say thank you, because your work is making my work so much easier. So yeah, Onika, it's not about you. When you want to give up, it's not about you. When you want to stop, it's not about you, but it's about every single person like me that Sunday that needed to hear the words of support that you gave. This is why we are here at 5 years, but this is going to create an eternity of change. And for that, I thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yisrael, for your words of inspiration, encouragement,